Kamusta kayo mga amigo at amiga, and this is the Señorito Jake De Leon, and you are listening to the 123 podcast.
For each and every one of these people who supported me through thick and thin, I always believed in what I stand for, and that's being me, Jeff Hardy. What?
Acknowledge me as your true chief.
In case you forgot, in case you never knew, I am the rated R superstar.
Welcome to the show where we talk anything and everything wrestling. Welcome to the 123 podcast. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to the second annual 123 awards. I just completed my finals. And it's literal hell. It is literal hell. I personally call it the 3 days of hell. Because it's literally hell. I mean, pulling off an all-nighter as someone who doesn't normally pull off an all-nighter, it's hell. Because the sleepiness is getting into you while you're reviewing, and you don't want to fall asleep while reviewing because you don't want to miss any lessons to review because or else you'll fail. But yeah, the 3 days of hell is finally over, and I want to relax. And what better way to relax than to commence the second annual 123 awards with a pretty big surprise or a pretty big twist. So for this year, as we all know, if you guys have heard the first ever 123 awards last year, we had 4 nominees in each category. This year, I've expanded it, making the nominee count go up to 6. It may not be that big, but for me, it's pretty cool because more chances of winning, obviously, and more nominees, of course, because I don't want to leave out the other great moments that happened this year. So, 6 nominees each category. And also, I've added 2 new categories for this year, which I did have last year. So, better check that out. So, as usual, we're going to recognize the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of professional wrestling this year. And we're going to start things off just like how we started it last year with the OMG Moment of the Year award. So here are the nominees for OMG Moment of the Year. John Cena returning at Money in the Bank 2021. Bianca Belair beating Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37. Big E winning the WWE title. Bryan Danielson's AEW debut. CM Punk's AEW debut. And Adam Cole's AEW debut. So AEW, as you guys can see, has dominated this category with the debuts. And we all know who the winner is. I mean, we all know the winner. And the winner for this year's OMG Moment Award goes to none other than CM Punk's AEW debut. Like I said on that one episode of the squash match, this debut legit gave me an out-of-body experience. It was surreal. Like I said, once I heard that riff from Cult of Personality, I was just, oh my god, it's happening. Like, at first I actually expected it to be MJF, because MJF, we all know MJF has that tendency to mock the crowd into thinking that, look at his entrance at All Out. I mean, he did the entire countdown thing that we all know is Chris Jericho's trademark. And once the graphics came out, it said Jericho's last match. And it was like, it's MJF. It's MJF. And at first, I actually thought it was MJF. And then the name popped up on the Titantron. It said CM Punk. And out he came to the stage. I just legit had an out-of-body experience. I cannot explain it. The Chicago crowd, as always, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. They added so much more to this debut. Because if this would have happened in other cities in the US or in other states in the US, it would have been it would have been a meh debut because it would have been as loud. It wouldn't have been as loud as it was in Chicago. And man, CM Punk's debut is just unbelievable. And from time to time, I actually come back to that debut because it was just that good. And yeah, I mean, Punk's current run, it's a pretty cool run. It's a pretty cool run. I don't get why people are hating on CM Punk for helping the younger talents. But yeah, his debut was just unbelievable. So there you guys go. Winner for OMG Moment of the Year goes to CM Punk's AEW debut. So for second place, we actually got 3 winners this year. We got 3 winners, 2 main winners, 1 honorable mention. So second place goes to John Cena at Money in the Bank 2021. Oh my god. Man, I actually did not expect this because I thought John Cena was going to return to SmackDown after Money in the Bank. But nope. Cena debuted at the end of Money in the Bank, and once that siren hit, I was just jumping for joy. I mean, compare it to 10 years ago. Same event. CM Punk was the one being cheered despite being the heel. John Cena, despite being the face or the baby face, was booed out of the building. Chants of "you can't wrestle," and they're just siding on CM Punk 10 years ago. And 10 years later, he's got one of the biggest pops of the year. I mean, I myself even jumped. I was like, "Oh my god, John Cena's back!" And I was very happy because we finally got that dream match. I mean, we got it 2 times now. We got the match first at No Mercy, and then we got it the second time at Money in the Bank. Oh no, at SummerSlam rather. Man, it was just an amazing return. And yeah, if ever that would be like John Cena's last match, I would be fine with it. I'd be fine with it. I'm just now waiting for The Rock. I'm just now waiting for The Rock to confront Roman Reigns and challenge him for the title. For the arc to be complete. But yeah. John's return on Money in the Bank definitely is like the 2008 return of our generation. That's all I gotta say about that because it was so loud. Probably even louder than the 2008 return. I don't know, but one thing's for sure: Cena returned, challenged Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. With a little bit of wonky booking, of course, vintage WWE, but amazing stuff. So there you guys go. Second place winner goes to John Cena returning at Money in the Bank 2021. Honorable mention goes to Big E at Money in the Big E winning the WWE title. Historic. This is just an historic title win because Big E's title win was like the first time ever that a black world champion dropped the title to another black champion, and historic. That phrase alone is just like just saying that it's pretty cool because as we all know, there isn't a lot of like black world champions in wrestling, especially in the WWE since they prioritize the whites, of course. So to see a black world champion drop the title to another black man, amazing. It felt good. I mean, we all thought that Big E's gonna fail to cash in on Bobby Lashley, but he didn't, which is great. And now he's having an amazing WWE title reign. And I don't know if if Big E's gonna like drop the title to anyone he's facing at day one. It's apparently now a fatal 4-way match between him, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. But I feel like he should not drop the title yet. It's too early. So yeah, he's having an amazing title reign so far. And yeah, honorable mention goes to Big E's title win. So amazing stuff, obviously, amazing stuff. So let's now move on to the second category of the 1, 2, 3 awards, which is the Return of the Year. So here are the nominees for Return of the Year: John Cena, CM Punk, Edge, Bryan Danielson, Hangman Adam Page, and Brock Lesnar. Winner. If this doesn't seem predictable yet, I don't know. But winner for Return of the Year is obviously CM Punk. Like I said, I legit had an out-of-body experience seeing his debut in AEW. It's counted as his AEW debut, but for us, it's actually his return to pro wrestling because we all know what happened to him. We all know what happened to Punk. He left wrestling in 2014. He quit WWE in 2014 because of backstage issues. And I never imagined CM Punk to return because, like I said, he quit wrestling because of the WWE. He vowed to never come back to wrestling ever again. And look at him now. He's back with a rival company. Amazing shit. I mean, I kind of have a problem with wrestlers taking a shot at WWE every time in their promos, especially in AEW. But if someone had all the right to take shots at WWE, it's CM Punk. That promo he did after his return, he was like, if you guys are disappointed at me because of my personal choices, I understand. As long as you understand that I am not going to go healthy or be healthy when I stay to the company, when I stay in the place that got me sick in the first place. Once he said that, I was like, fuck yeah, Punk. Vintage Punk. It was just amazing. So, yeah, CM Punk is taking the cake for this category. Second place goes to John Cena again. For the first time in years, John Cena is going second to CM Punk. But yeah, CM Punk is first, John Cena second. I already said what I have to say for John Cena's return at Money in the Bank. It's loud. Probably louder than his 2008 return at the Royal Rumble. And like I said, amazing returns. So honorable mention goes to Hangman Adam Page's return in the Casino Ladder match. Man, it's predictable, but once we heard that bass line from Hangman's theme song, we just had to let it out there. The reaction was loud. And then he won the Casino Ladder match, went on to Full Gear, and beat Kenny Omega for the title. Amazing stuff. Feel-good moments. One of the best feel-good moments. And those are your winners for Return of the Year. First place is going to CM Punk. Second place goes to John Cena. And honorable mention goes to Hangman Adam Page. So, let's go to the negatives. Let's now go to the negatives. Because there isn't a positive without a negative. Let's face it, right? So, let's go to the next category, which is the worst moment of the year. So here are the nominees for worst moment of the year. Roman Reigns' fluke win against Demon Finn Balor, Extreme Rules 2021. Cody Rhodes' American Dream promo. The ending for the exploding barbed wire death match. Randy Orton beating The Fiend at WrestleMania 37. The never-ending releases in the WWE. And the, air quotes, Bullet Club reunion. So, the unfortunate winner for worst moment of the year goes to Cody Rhodes' American Dream promo. I mean, probably the worst thing that I've heard all year long. I mean, the Veer promos, the Veer vignettes are already bad, but there's nothing that can be worse than that, than Cody Rhodes' American Dream promo. It was just, it was, it was forced. It was too over the top. I mean, Cody could have said the entire dictionary in a promo, and I would still think that it's a bad promo. So the main premise, that's why I hate this promo. This is why I hate this promo. The main premise of the Anthony Ogogo Cody Rhodes match is Cody's representing the Nightmare family. Anthony Ogogo is representing the faction that QT Marshall is leading. I don't know what the name of his faction is, but it's Anthony Ogogo. He's representing QT's faction. Cody Rhodes legit turned this feud from, one faction to another, to the US versus the UK. What? What? I mean, before he even said like, it's the US versus the UK, he even brought up Brandy Rhodes giving birth to their daughter. I mean, I get it. I get it. You're happy that your wife is giving birth to a beautiful daughter. But how is that related to your match with someone from your rival's faction? Right? How is that related? It just got worse and worse. Up until when he said that, I'm not gonna be called the American Nightmare at Double or Nothing. I'm gonna be called the American Dream. Fuck you, Cody. Fuck you. I mean, there's no one really replacing your father. He owns the American Dream nickname, not you. It's just it was just a bad promo. And after that I was like, all right, fuck this match. Fuck Cody, because he unnecessarily turned, like I said, he unnecessarily turned a faction versus faction rivalry into states and countries fighting. Like, fucking hell. Like, for me at least, he lacks self-awareness. He is a douchebag. He thinks he's a hero, but in reality, he's a douchebag. He has a huge ego. And it showed in this one promo alone. And, it sucks. It sucks. So if you guys are searching for promos this 2021, don't watch this promo. It will just make you angry. But yeah, I don't recommend y'all seeing this promo. It just sucks. But yeah, the unfortunate winner for the worst moment of the year is going to Cody Rhodes' American Dream promo. It's just that bad. So second place winner goes to the exploding barbed wire death match, the ending to that match, from AEW Revolution. It sucks, man. We expected for a blood feud like Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega, an exploding barbed wire death match is amazing. It's an amazing concept. I've seen some matches. There was this huge explosion in the end, and after the explosion, oh shit, what happened to both of the wrestlers? Are they dead? Are they burned to death? Oh, did they explode? Did their internal body organs come out because of that explosion? All that sorts of stuff. That's what that's what I thought. That's what I thought when I first saw the earlier iterations of the exploding barbed wire death match. But man, what they did at Revolution was horrible. It was a torture to watch. I mean, the match was great overall. I get it, but it was all overshadowed by that ending. It sucked. Like expectations, we wanted to see a big explosion surrounding the ring, big smoke surrounding the ring after the explosion. What we got is a fireworks display. We legit got a fireworks display and a death match. New Year came early, guys. The New Year came early with that match, and that ending just sucked. I just cannot stop laughing about it because It was bad. Um, the match was great. Don't get me wrong, it was great, but the ending just overshadowed how great the match is. I mean, fucking hell. But yeah, it is what it is. The exploding barbed wire death match is one of the worst things that AEW did this year, especially that ending. So yeah, second place goes to the ending for the exploding barbed wire death match at AEW Revolution. Honorable mention goes to the never-ending releases in the WWE because it always sucks to see someone lose their job. Um, and the reasoning that the WWE puts out always are, oh, it's budget cuts, it's a budget thing. Best of luck in your future endeavors. I quoted CM Punk right there, but yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks. Plus the stars that they released, they released Buddy Murphy. They released Aleister Black, who's now known as Malachi Black in AEW, having an amazing run, by the way. They released Karrion Kross. They released Keith Lee. They released Mia Yim. They released Bobby Fish. All talented stars. They even released The Fiend. And and their reasoning for the releases are budget cuts. The Fiend was like the highest selling wrestler back in 2019. One of the highest. I'm not too sure. But they released The Fiend. They released Bray Wyatt. And their reasoning for his release is budget cuts. Bro, he's been selling a lot of merch. He could make the WWE tons of money because of his merch. He was just that good. He was that creative. But WWE just goes ahead and releases them and then proceeds to rehire wrestlers like Eva Marie. Fucking hell, man. But yeah, honorable mention goes to the never-ending releases in the WWE. I do not want to go on a rant. I will never go on a rant because this is not the episode to do so. So yeah, those are the winners for the worst moment of the year. First place winner goes to the American Dream promo by Cody Rhodes. Second place goes to the exploding barbed wire death match, the ending. And honorable mention goes to the never-ending WWE releases. So from a negative, let's move on to a positive. Because I just had to let that steam out. It's just the steam out moment, Not too sure what it's called. But yeah, let's move on to the best moment of the year. So here are the nominees for the best moment of the year. Bianca Belair winning the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania 37. Big E winning the WWE title. Hangman Page winning the AEW World title. CM Punk's AEW debut. Brock Lesnar's return. And Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole's AEW debut. So the winner for the best moment of the year is going to none other than CM Punk. CM Punk is dominating this award show with just one moment. I've already said what needs to be said about this debut earlier. This is probably the best moment in AEW this year, or probably the best moment in AEW's existence, 2-year existence, so far. So yeah, CM Punk takes the cake for best moment of the year. Second place goes to Big E winning the WWE title. Amazing stuff. Like I said, historic. Like, even though it was rushed, because I feel like it was rushed because I feel like WWE wants to out or counter program AEW. They did so by having Big E cashing in his Money in the Bank and winning the title. They built Big E up as the guy who eventually beat Roman Reigns for the Universal title. But like I said, WWE wants to over or counter program AEW, and they resorted to Big E winning the WWE title. Of course, it's amazing, even though it felt rushed. Feel good moment nonetheless. But yeah, Second place goes to Big E winning the WWE title. Honorable mention goes to Hangman Page winning the AEW World title at Full Gear. First off, his match with Kenny Omega at Full Gear was unbelievable. May have not been as good as I think as I thought. Um, but it was still a good match nonetheless. They told a story. Matt and Nick Jackson came out at the end. I thought they were gonna interfere, but nope. Matt Jackson nodded to Adam, give him the go signal for the buckshot lariat, and when he won, I was just like, wow, this is just an amazing moment, no doubt, because it's long overdue. Plus the journey that Hangman was in. He vowed to become the first ever AEW World Champion against Chris Jericho. He didn't. He lost the title eliminator tournament to Kenny Omega, the same guy who is now the world champion. His old friends abandoned him until he found the Dark Order, who turns out to be his truest friends. And when he won the title and then the Dark Order came out, I was just clapping because the match was good, the moment was amazing, and yeah. So there you guys go. There are your winners. For the best moment of the year, CM Punk's AEW debut, taking the cake as usual. Big E winning the WWE title takes second place. An honorable mention goes to Hangman Adam Page winning the AEW World title. Alright, so let's now move on to the next category of the 1, 2, 3 awards, which is Debut of the Year. Let's now move on to the nominees for Debut of the Year. Braun Breaker, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Cora Jade, the girl who jumped off the cage and fucked her shoulder up until Io Shirai legit popped her shoulder back in. Yep, that Cora Jade. And Hook. So the winner for the Debut of the Year award goes to none other than CM Punk. I have already said what I have to say about this debut. It's historic. Like I said, the crowd reaction that Punk got was electric. And, I really have nothing much to say because this debut legit dominated the award show. So I really have nothing much to say about this debut. So let's move on to the next winner, which is the second place winner for Debut of the Year, and that is going to Adam Cole Bebe. This debut is... I actually like this debut a lot more than Bryan Danielson's debut because I did not expect Adam Cole to pull up at AEW. I mean, 3 weeks before All Out, he was in NXT having his final match with Kyle O'Reilly in the amazing 3 Stages of Hell match at NXT TakeOver 36. And then after that match, Adam Cole left WWE, and I legit thought that he would comply to the 30-day no compete clause for NXT wrestlers, which I'm not too sure if that's how things work in NXT, because from what I've heard, Adam Cole signed multiple short-term extensions, and I thought that he would comply with the 30-day no-compete clause after he finally ended his NXT career. But nope. 3 weeks later, Adam Cole pulled up at All Out. Amazing debut. An electric crowd reaction as well. Love it. Especially when he sided with the Elite. I was like, there's no chance that Adam would go against the Elite. Of course he would side with the Elite. And now he's doing an amazing job with them, feuding with Orange Cassidy. Some people are pissed about Adam Cole's booking in AEW, but I gotta say, I'm actually pretty happy about how he's being booked in AEW. I mean, he's happy with his booking. Let the man be, right? So there you guys go. Second place winner is going to Adam Cole, baby. So honorable mention goes to the man named Hook. Hook has finally been sent. Oh my god, that debut last week was amazing. He's got the Action Bronson song. He's got the swag. He's got the badassery that he always possessed every time he made an appearance in AEW. He was smooth in the ring as well, and I really loved his debut match with Fuego del Sol. And I really cannot wait to see more of Hook. I really cannot wait. I feel like he's gonna be the future of AEW given enough time. Um, he can probably be the next TNT champion, and I really cannot wait for what next year is gonna hold for Hook. He's as of this recording, he has surpassed CM Punk for most merch sold on ProWrestlingTees.com in 24 hours, and I mean, it's great. I mean, it's great because, like I said, Hook's amazing, and he really deserves everything that he has right now. So there you guys go, winners for debut of the year. First place is going to CM Punk, obviously. Second place is going to Adam Cole, baby. It's irresistible. I cannot resist saying Adam Cole without saying baby. But honorable mention is going to Hook. So let's now move on to the next category of the award show, which is the feud of the year. So here are your nominees: Seth Rollins versus Edge, Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk, Roman Reigns versus Edge, open and close parenthesis, versus Daniel Bryan, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page, Darby Allin versus CM Punk, and Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. Winner for the feud of the year goes to CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. Oh my god. What an amazing feud this was. I mean, they had like, what, 2-3 weeks worth of build for the rivalry. And they just tweaked with that one promo they had on Rampage. They tweaked. Punk, as usual, amazing on the mic. Eddie Kingston, as always, amazing on the mic. Eddie Kingston definitely out-promoted Punk in that segment. It was amazing. Especially that last line. If for some reason you guys haven't seen the entire promo, I'll leave it to this. I'll leave it to this last line that Eddie Kingston said to Punk before they brawled. I don't care about winning and losing at Full Gear. All I'm gonna do is beat you up. And after I'm done beating you up, do me a favor. Quit again and leave for 7 years. And it looks like Eddie Kingston was gonna add, oh, don't you ever come back, before Punk headbutted him and started to brawl. But man, 2 weeks of build for an amazing feud? Bruh. And then at Full Gear, they had an all-out war. They had an all-out brawl. It's not even a match. It's a brawl. It's a brawl. It was so personal. I loved the match, and I really hope that CM Punk and Eddie Kingston's paths cross again. So there you guys go. Feud of the Year award goes to CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. So second place award goes to Seth Rollins versus Edge. This rivalry was just amazing. They had a trilogy of matches. First one being at SummerSlam. Amazing match. Definitely match of the night for SummerSlam. The second match took place on SmackDown at Madison Square Garden. It was the anniversary of 9/11 when that match happened. Definitely match of the night also. Seth was victorious. He stomped Edge's neck on the mat, and I was just scared for his life. I was like, oh my god. Like, I've never been that scared for a wrestler. But when Seth Rollins stomped Edge's neck on the canvas, I was just like, oh my god. How's Edge doing? How's he doing? How's his neck feeling? Like, I was legit scared. Like I was like, oh my god, did I see someone die in the middle of the ring? But yeah, it was scary. The last match happened at Crown Jewel in that amazing Hell in a Cell match, and like I said, brutal. It was an amazing Hell in a Cell match. I did not expect a Hell in a Cell match at a Saudi Arabia show, because we all know WWE has a show dedicated to that one stipulation, and that's Hell in a Cell. So I was like, really? I was like, really? They're having a Hell in a Cell match at Saudi? And I was like, wow. Like, I've never seen that happen back in the day I first watched wrestling. Yeah, they had that Hell in a Cell match at Saudi. It was amazing. It was brutal. Match of the night, of course. They both delivered. And, yeah, I was like, after the Hell in a Cell match, I was like, yo, great rivalry from Seth and Edge. I just had to clap because it was that good. So yeah, there you guys go. Second place goes to Seth Rollins versus Edge. Honorable mention goes to another Edge feud this year. So it goes to Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Open and close parenthesis. Yeah, the feud was amazing. Roman and Edge trading words, trading promos, and then Daniel Bryan got added to the mix. Amazing stuff. Daniel Bryan even was like, "Oh, I got screwed out of the Universal title. I deserve the opportunity." I mean, I get it. I get Bryan's point. But what I don't get is fans getting mad at it. But that's a story for another episode. Um, and yeah, the feud was amazing. They're all trading promos to each other. That match at WrestleMania 37 was unbelievable. Lots of near falls. But at the end, your tribal chief stood tall. And yeah, it was an amazing feud. Yeah, there you guys go. Those are your winners for feud of the year. Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk is taking the top spot. Seth Rollins versus Edge takes the second place spot. And Roman Reigns versus Edge, open and close parenthesis, versus Daniel Bryan gets an honorable mention. So, alright, so let's go to the next category on the 1, 2, 3 awards, which is the match of the year. Lots of great matches this year, but these are my nominees for this category. So here it is. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37, Night 1. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 37, Night 2. Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega at Full Gear. Another Hangman Adam Page match, this time against Bryan Danielson from this week's Winner is Coming. Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, another Bryan Danielson match from Dynamite Grand Slam. And Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair at Survivor Series. So the winner for the match of the year goes to none other than Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 37. Oh my god, this match, y'all. The storyline, the build up to this match may be shit. It's levels of shit as the second Rock versus Austin match at WrestleMania 17. We guys know how that match was built up. Deborah was, for some reason, a part of the storyline. Same thing goes with this match. For some reason, Reggie was a part of the build-up. Why? Just why? The build-up may be shit, but the match, man. The match was amazing. The match was unbelievable. This match is very historic as well because this is the first time ever, this marked the first time ever that two African-American women have main evented WrestleMania. So, doesn't get any more historic than that. Plus, the match, man, it delivered, man. The match was just unbelievable. That hair whip was so loud. It was amazing. And Bianca winning was the icing on the cake. It was an amazing match. If you guys haven't seen it for some reason, go check it out because it's an amazing match. So there you go. Winner for match of the year goes to Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37, Night 1. Second place goes to Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega at Dynamite Grand Slam because, man, this match was amazing. Lots of brutal moments. There were moments in the match where I was just legit concerned for Bryan's neck because we all know Bryan's neck issues. We all know Bryan's neck issues. I mean, it forced him to retire in 2015. It's serious. So there were moments in this match where I was like, "Oh my God, is Bryan's neck okay?" Like especially that dragon suplex on the entrance ramp by Kenny to Bryan. I was legit concerned for Bryan. But yeah, the match ended in a 30-minute draw. I mean, it was good because at that time Kenny is built up to lose to Hangman Adam Page, and we cannot give Bryan the win that early because he legit just debuted like a few weeks before Dynamite Grand Slam, and we cannot give Bryan the title too early. So I understand the situation why they resorted to a 30-minute draw, but nonetheless, the match was amazing. That's why this match is second place on my Match of the Year award. So honorable mention. This is the part where I needed to re-record. Honorable mention for Match of the Year is going to another Bryan Danielson match. This time with Hangman Adam Page from this week's Winner is Coming. Oh my goodness. Lots of people are pissed about the 60-minute draw finish. I mean, it was good. It was fine for me. The match was nuts, man. It was nuts. Because practically Hangman had Bryan beat with the buckshot lariat before the timer ran out and became a draw. This really feels like a long-term storytelling for me because it feels like Bryan is like the big match choker. He didn't defeat Kenny Omega for the first time at Dynamite Grand Slam. It ended in a draw. And here's Bryan again having another match for the world title. And it ends in a draw once again. So this practically means that AEW is preparing for that for long-term storytelling where Bryan is like the big match choker. So I love what they're doing with that. But the match itself was nuts, man. I mean, Bryan made Hangman look like a superstar. I mean, both of them were amazing, and I really cannot wait for their second match if there ever will be another match between the both of them. You know, either way, I'm very excited. If they're going to have a second match, good for them. I would love to see a clear winner in the second match. Probably Hangman, because I don't want to see Hangman lose the title that early to Bryan. But either way, the match was nuts. That's why I chose this match as the honorable mention for this year's Match of the Year. So let's move on to the next category in the award show, which is the Best Show of the Year. So here are the nominees for the Best Show of the Year award for this year. WrestleMania 37, Full Gear 2021, All Out 2021, Double or Nothing 2021, SummerSlam 2021, and Money in the Bank 2021. The winner for the Best Show of the Year is going to AEW All Out 2021. This pay-per-view, this show, legit changed the landscape of pro wrestling. Lots of great things happened during this pay-per-view. Ruby Soho's debut, one of the many debuts that happened on the show alone. CM Punk's first match in over 7 years against Darby Allin. Adam Cole's debut. Bryan Danielson's debut. They had 3 debuts in this pay-per-view, and it legit changed pro wrestling. It legit changed the landscape of pro wrestling. But, you know, I said in that one video that's on my YouTube channel, make sure you guys go subscribe. Shameless plug. I said in that one video that if Bryan Danielson and CM Punk debuts at AEW, it would legit change the landscape of pro wrestling because AEW just acquired 2 of the biggest stars in wrestling. And they certainly did. This pay-per-view certainly changed the landscape of pro wrestling, and they added one more debut in the mix with Adam Cole. which, like I said, I liked more than Bryan Danielson's debut. But yeah, overall this show was just amazing. So there you guys go. Show of the year goes to AEW All Out 2021. So second place winner goes to WrestleMania 37, the first big event in the WWE with a live crowd. Amazing stuff. 25,000 each night, making the total to 50,000. Um, and yeah, I mean, I loved both nights, but I feel like night one is always better because first off, night one felt a lot more special because it was like WWE's thank you to the fans for sticking with them throughout the pandemic. The results of the matches and in night one was favorable. It was favorable because all the guys that we wanted to win won at night one. So Cesaro won, amazing stuff. Drew McIntyre lost against Bobby Lashley. It's fine because Bobby Lashley needed that win. Of course, Bianca Belair won. Bad Bunny and Damon Priest won, and like I said, an unreasonably good match. But yeah, night one was better because it felt a lot more special because that was like the first WWE event with a live crowd after a long time. Night two was not as good as night one, of course, starting things off with The Fiend losing to Randy Orton. It sucked. But the match that will be solely remembered for night two was definitely the main event. Daniel Bryan versus Edge versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Amazing match, like I said. And yeah, overall WrestleMania 37 was amazing. And that show deserves the second place award. So honorable mention goes to AEW Double or Nothing 2021. This is the actual first wrestling event with a full capacity crowd. They filled up Daly's place. Tickets were sold out, and the matches during that night was amazing. The Inner Circle defeated the Pinnacle in the Stadium Stampede. Amazing match. The Inner Circle were still together. And yeah, overall the event was just amazing. Because like I said, it's the actual first wrestling event with a full capacity crowd, and yeah, for a show of that hype, they delivered. So yeah, there you guys go. Best Show of the Year award goes to AEW All Out 2021. Second place goes to WrestleMania 37, and honorable mention goes to AEW Double or Nothing 2021. So let's move on to the next category. We talked about the best show of the year. Let's now talk about the worst show of the year. So for this category, we only have 4 shows to nominate because there isn't that much of bad shows during this year. So here are those that I picked: Hell in a Cell 2021, Extreme Rules 2021, AEW Revolution 2021, and WWE Fastlane 2021. So the unfortunate winner for worst show of the year goes to Extreme Rules 2021. Not good. Like I said, the only good match was the Liv Morgan Carmella match and the kickoff show, and Damon Priest versus Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, and that was it. The main event flopped. I actually personally liked the ending first during that time because I expect an explanation from Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, but they didn't explain, and it was never brought up on television ever again. And now I just feel bad for actually liking that finish. But yeah, it sucks. So if there's one WWE pay-per-view to miss during 2021, it's this one. Because nothing special actually happened. So yeah, there you guys go. So second place goes to, there will be no honorable mentions for this category since we only have 4 nominees. So Second place goes to Hell in a Cell 2021. Not a good event. It was decent, but it was not a good event. Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio was mysteriously pulled from the event itself. It was moved to SmackDown in a television match. Why? Like legit, why? It was a, it was like it was like an unnecessary. It was like an unnecessary move, and I just didn't want to see that match on television. I want to see it at Hell in a Cell, because for a rivalry that is as personal as Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio, although it's a short feud, for a feud that personal, it should be on the pay-per-view. But they didn't. But the WWE moved it to SmackDown. Why? Like if that match was actually a Hell in a Cell, I would have enjoyed it. But they moved it to SmackDown, and when I saw that match, we got commercial breaks. Fuck! It was like I didn't get to enjoy that match. I feel like it was good. I feel like the match was good, but I just didn't enjoy it enough because of the commercial breaks, and yeah, it just the entire event suffered from that move. Plus the Hell in a Cell main event, the actual main event, which was Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley. It was meh. It was decent. It was meh. So overall, um, Hell in a Cell 2021, decent event, but it was not as good as I'd hope. So yeah, that takes the cake for the second place award for the Worst Show of the Year. So to summarize, Worst Show of the Year award goes to Extreme Rules 2021, and second place goes to Hell in a Cell 2021. So let's now move on to the next and the first of two new categories that I've added in this award show, which is the worst male wrestler of the year. So here are the nominees: QT Marshall, Cody Rhodes, Happy Corbin, AJ Styles, Jinder Mahal, and the Young Bucks. I actually put an open and close parenthesis S in there because I added the Young Bucks. So yeah, worst male wrestler of the year goes to you guys know who will go to the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes definitely lived up to his nickname during this year. He was a nightmare to watch. See what I did there? But yeah, he has been torture to watch this year. I mean, first few months of the year, he was doing amazing. He had that match with Shaq, and then after that, everything went sideways. Cody Rhodes went on a rivalry with QT Marshall when QT unnecessarily turned on Cody Rhodes. And then we had the Ogogo match. You know how that story went. It was bad. Probably the worst match in Double or Nothing. And then it just continued. The Malachi Black things. I mean, everyone was cheering for Malachi Black despite him being the heel. I myself was included in the guys who cheered for Malachi Black. Cody Rhodes didn't need the third match. That feud did not need the third match. It was like the third match was added so that Cody can get his win. I mean, fucking hell, man. I mean, Cody Rhodes really was bad this year. It sucks. It just sucks seeing someone go from a fiery babyface in 2019 to now being one of the most hated wrestlers in wrestling. Because of his ego, basically. Cody Rhodes has a huge ego. And like I said, that's a story for another episode. I am not gonna talk about that here. But yeah, worst wrestler of the year is Cody Rhodes. Second place goes to Happy Corbin. Start of the year, he was still King Corbin. And then before SummerSlam, he became Baron Corbin, the broke ass, bum ass Corbin, which I actually appreciated that gimmick. For once, I actually appreciated Baron Corbin. And then he turned to Happy Corbin. the go away heat suddenly came back, and every time I see him on TV, I was like, oh fuck, here we go again. His pairing with Madcap Moss or Riddick Moss, it was just bad. So yeah, Happy Corbin is definitely taking second place in here. Honorable mention goes to QT Marshall because everything that he did in AEW after that feud with Cody Rhodes sucks. It just sucks. So there you guys go. Worst male wrestlers of the year. First place is going to Cody Rhodes. Second place is going to Happy Corbin. And third is going to QT Marshall. Alright, so let's move on to the next category of the awards show, which is Best Male Wrestlers. So the nominees for Best Male Wrestler are Roman Reigns, Damian Priest, CM Punk, Hangman Adam Page, Big E, and Adam Cole. So the winner for the Best Male Wrestler of the Year award is going to none other than your tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, the current Universal Champion. Man, Roman Reigns just keeps getting better and better. Especially this year, he really shined on SmackDown. In the beginning of the year, he was feuding with Kevin Owens. Amazing feud. And leading into WrestleMania, he was feuding with Edge and Daniel Bryan for the Universal title. And this is how good Roman is. He even drove Daniel Bryan out of the WWE and onto AEW. You have to acknowledge your tribal chief after that. I did. Oh, man. Man, it wasn't. Roman's amazing. Aside from that fluke win against Demon Finn at Extreme Rules, which was bad. But aside from that, Roman has been amazing during the entire year. He feuded with lots of legends. He feuded with Edge. He feuded with John Cena. He feuded with Brock Lesnar. And there may be a possibility that Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania and face The Rock. If that's true, I would love to see that match. I would love to see that match. That match would be the perfect retirement match for The Rock. Because, first off, their family history, plus the story writes itself. Roman Reigns proclaims himself as the head of the table and the head of the Anoa'i tribe, or the Anoa'i pact. And The Rock is out here busting his ass in Hollywood, and all its sorts. And, if that happens, it would be a very good match. Storyline wise, it would be amazing as well. Match would be great. But I don't really feel like that would happen because it looks like Drew McIntyre is being built up as the one who will eventually beat Roman Reigns. But if we were to actually see The Rock versus Roman Reigns this year, or next year, rather, that would be amazing. I would love to see that match. So, there you go. Winner for male or best male wrestler of the year is going to your tribal chief, your head of the table, the current Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Second place winner is going to the anxious millennial cowboy, Hangman Adam Page. Man, he's been amazing this year as well. The entire storyline with him and the Elite, it just carried on this year. It carried on this year, and it culminated at Full Gear, and he won the title. An amazing journey, probably the longest storyline that AEW's done in their 2-year existence. The ending was worth it. The ending to that storyline has been worth it. Absolutely worth it. And he had that match with Bryan Danielson this week at Winter is Coming. And I really loved that match. Like I said, the match was nuts. The match was absolute nuts. Man, it ended in a 60-minute draw. Protecting the both of them from losing, basically. I don't want to see Hangman drop the title that early. And Bryan doesn't really deserve the title for now. As much as I love Bryan Danielson, I feel like he doesn't deserve the title right now because his sudden heel turn was pretty bad. I mean, he's doing an amazing job doing promos, but the heel turn was unexpected. It came out of the blue. No explanation as to why he woke up at the wrong side of the bed. Um, yeah, that's the only thing that suffered between Bryan Danielson. But that is gonna be another story. But that's gonna be a story for another episode. But Hangman, like I said, his entire journey this year has been fantastic. Like I said, he was kicked out of the elite, and he found new friends in the Dark Order, and he got his self confidence back because of them, and now he's the world champion. Amazing stuff. So yeah, second place winner is going to Hangman Adam Page, the current AEW World Champion. So honorable mention is going to Adam Cole, Bebe. Here we go again, y'all. Here we go again. Like I said earlier, Adam Cole is being booked amazingly in AEW. Not the typical booking that you think Adam Cole would get, because a lot of people think that once Adam Cole makes his AEW debut, he would be inserted in the world title picture and become the AEW World Champion. But in reality, he just wants to have fun with his friends. And that's what he's doing right now. He's being booked as Orange Cassidy's rival. Um and he looks like he's having fun. And I love seeing Adam Cole have fun. So it's a win-win. So yeah. Not really much to say about Adam Cole. He's been doing a lot in AEW. He's done a lot as well in NXT. He had that feud with Kyle O'Reilly. Amazing feud. That trilogy of matches was amazing. The trilogy ended at Takeover 36 in the 3 Stages of Hell match. Like I said, fantastic match, and the perfect send off for Adam Cole. And that amazing debut. I just love Adam Cole's run this year. Not only in NXT, but also in AEW. So I really cannot wait to see what next year is gonna look like for Adam Cole. It looks like he's gonna face Hangman Adam Page at New Year's Smash for the title. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, whatever Adam Cole does in AEW, I'll support him because, as y'all guys know, I'm a huge Adam Cole fan. Actually, I'm a huge Undisputed Era fan, and I really cannot wait to see them reunite and reform in AEW if that's actually what is gonna happen. But either way, I really cannot wait to see what Adam Cole does next year. I really cannot wait. So there you guys go. Male Wrestlers of the Year. Winners going to Roman Reigns, your tribal chief. Acknowledge him. Second place is going to Hangman Adam Page. And the Honorable Mentions Award is going to another Adam, who is Adam Cole, Bebe. So let's now move on to the next category. And it's the second of the 2 new categories that I've added in the award show. This is the Worst Female Wrestler of the Year award. So here are your nominees for this award. The unfortunate nominees. Dewdrop, Eva Marie, Rebel. As much as I love Britt Baker, I legit hate Rebel. She's obnoxious, so I just had to add her in here. Nia Jax, Nyla Rose, and Brandy Rhodes. So the winner for Worst Female Wrestler is going to none other than Eva Marie. Eva Marie. Because imagine this. WWE releases a bunch of talented and amazing wrestlers like Keith Lee, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Bray Wyatt, Mia Yim, Karrion Kross, Scarlett. WWE releases all those guys and rehires Eva Marie? And the reasoning And the reasoning why these wrestlers were released were budget cuts. Bruh, these wrestlers that I mentioned before Eva Marie made tons of money for WWE. And they were all creative. I mean, look at Aleister Black. He debuted a new gimmick on SmackDown, attacking Big E. And then a week later, he's released. Braun Strowman was a part of the WWE title picture before he was released. Buddy Murphy, he wasn't doing anything but one talented wrestler. He is one talented wrestler. And it sucks that he got released. And they got released just for WWE to rehire Eva Marie? Her wrestling skills are garbage. She is absolute shit on the mic. Why did WWE rehire her? Why did WWE rehire her? Just why? That's the biggest question. You know what? That's the biggest question. Why? Why is Eva Marie rehired by the WWE in 2021? Oh, what? Because she's famous? Because she's a part of the American Big Brother reality show? Is it because of that? Oh man, I just don't want to go on a rant. This is not the episode to do so. But yeah, worst female wrestler of the year goes to Eva Marie. Let's move on to the second place winner, which goes to her former lackey, Doudrop, who is now on an absolute garbage storyline with Bianca Belair. Man, what happened to Piper Niven? What happened to her? The once promising Piper Niven turned into Eva Marie's lackey. Why? Just why? She didn't do anything for Eva Marie. Plus, she was treated like shit with Eva Marie. And now that she is not with Eva Marie, she's in a garbage storyline with Bianca Belair. Why? Unless they bring Doudrop back to the Piper Niven character, she would probably be a lot better. Because a heel run is looking a bit promising despite the garbage storyline. It looks promising. Plus, Piper Niven is a much better heel name than Doudrop. Right? So, I just really cannot take Doudrop seriously as a heel. Just come back as Piper Niven and annihilate everyone on the women's roster, and you would be an amazing heel. But no, she is still Doudrop. Doudrop the monster heel. Imagine this. Imagine describing her to someone who hasn't watched wrestling. Like, oh, I know this wrestler who's like a monstrous bad guy in wrestling in the WWE. She is strong, she is badass. And then they ask you, "Oh, what's her name?" Doudrop. That would be comedic. So, you know what? Let's just move on before I just go on a rant. So, yeah, second place winner is going to Doudrop. An honorable mention is going to Nia Jax. Nia fucking Jax. Botcha Jax. Let's just move on. That's all I have to say about her. Botcha Jax. So, yeah, there you guys go. First place winner is going to Eva Marie. Second place is going to her lackey, her former lackey, Doudrop. And honorable mention is going to Nia Jax. Because for once, I actually appreciated her work before she got released by the WWE. You know, how she sold Shayna Baszler's attack was good. It was surprisingly good. But her entire run in the WWE was just absolute garbage. And good thing she was released. So, yeah. So, yeah, there you guys go. Those are your winners for worst female wrestlers of the year. Let's now move on to the last category to end off the 1, 2, 3 awards, which is best female wrestler of the year. So here are your nominees: Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Britt Baker, and Jade Cargill. So the winner for the best female wrestler of the year is going to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. You guys should do the pointing thing with me when I say DMD. DMD. You know, let's just go with it. Yeah, Britt has been doing amazing this year. She's been a very dominant champion in AEW, the current women's world champion. I love her run. As much as I hate Rebel, she's obnoxious. Britt is doing amazing with the title. She had classics with Shida, with Hikaru Shida, with Ruby Soho. Um, Amazing stuff. Um, Before she became champion, she had that amazing lights out unsanctioned match with Thunder Rosa. Um, Amazing match, historic match because that was like the first time that the women has main evented a Dynamite. Also, it's the first ever women's lights out unsanctioned match. Amazing stuff. They were bleeding to death. It was an amazing match. So I just really cannot wait what the next year holds for Britt Baker. I hope she finally feuds with Jamie Hayter because I've been seeing a bit of like a tease for a dissension between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. But yeah, I really cannot wait to see what next year looks like for Britt. And yeah, there you guys go. So the winner for the best female wrestler is going to Dr. Britt Baker. Say it with me, DMD. So second place winner is going to the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair. The beginning of the year up until Extreme Rules has been fantastic. She won the Royal Rumble. She main evented WrestleMania with Sasha Banks, an historic match, a very historic match. Um, she won the SmackDown Women's title, and she had an amazing run with it. She had that feud with Becky Lynch, and man, she's been amazing this year. She's proved that she can be a big star in the WWE. In fact, she is now one of the biggest stars in the WWE. And I really cannot wait to see what the future or what the next year holds for her. I mean, the only downside about her run this year is the entire Dewdrop rivalry, which, like I said, is garbage. But aside from that, I really cannot wait for what the future, what the next year holds for Bianca Belair. Because she's amazing. She's got the look, she's got the talent, and I really cannot wait to see her become a very big star in the WWE. So yeah, there you guys go. Second place winner is going to Bianca Belair. So honorable mention is going to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill has been amazing this year. During the beginning of the year, she had that mixed tag team match. She was partnered with Shaq, and they went up against Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet. Amazing match. And now she is booked pretty dominantly during the entire TBS title tournament. She's been looking dominant. I really love it, and I really cannot wait because I feel like, or no, not really feel like, because I really want to see Jade Cargill be the first ever TBS champion. She's been amazing. She is an amazing wrestler, and she really deserves the title. She deserves it. And yeah, so there you guys go. Winners for the best female wrestlers of the year. First place is going to Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker. Say it with me, DMD. Second place is going to Bianca Belair. And third, which is honorable mention, is going to Jade Cargill. So there you guys go. That's a wrap for this year's 123 Awards. Huge success. It's a lot of fun doing these award shows. Plus, like I said on the beginning of the episode, I just completed the 3 days of hell, aka the final exams. And what better way to relax than to record this episode? So I really cannot wait for what next year looks like for me. Hopefully everyone has I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a very prosperous New Year. So there you guys go. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you all enjoyed. This has been JM. This has been the 123 podcast. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Peace.